Welcome back to Outside Views, where we take a deep dive into the beautifully bizarre and endlessly fascinating world of Brexit. Today we're exploring a topic that sounds oddly specific, yet perfectly illustrates the broader Brexit story: Swedish-British business relations. Now, Sweden is known for many wonderful things: ABBA, IKEA, meatballs, and crisp minimalist designs that scream effortlessly stylish. But today we're focusing on something less glamorous, yet equally fascinating: business, Brexit style. 5 years post-Brexit, businesses from Stockholm to Southampton are still navigating a maze of new regulations, new paperwork, and let's face it, new headaches. So, press asked 5 Swedish-British companies from diverse industries, law, retail, logistics, accounting, and fashion, what's really changed since Brexit? And spoiler alert, it's complicated. Let's kick things off with law. And I know it sounds boring, but because if Brexit has taught us anything, it's that lawyers are busier than ever. So meet Tom Mayhew from Simmons Murhead Burton, an expert in immigration law. Before Brexit, Tom probably imagined a quieter life, maybe a nice, comfortable workload involving the occasional visa renewal. But then Brexit happened, and suddenly Tom became everyone's new best friend. Brexit turned the UK's immigration system from mildly complex into something resembling a Kafka novel, but less cheerful. So now Tom and his firm have adapted by going global, partnering with European firms to manage cross-border chaos. On the upside for Tom, business has boomed because with complexity comes opportunity. Brexit turned immigration lawyers into rock stars, and Tom sees this as mostly adjustment, not outright disruption. He remains optimistic that Swedish and British businesses will stay closely aligned. Bless you, Tom. We appreciate your positivity. And next up, let's talk retail, specifically water, Swedish alkaline water. Meet John Chater from Aqua Nobel, a Swedish brand that bottles water in recyclable paper cartons because, Sweden. Their mission? Hydration with a conscience. And their challenge? Brexit. Pre-Brexit, getting your trendy Swedish water to UK shelves involved simple logistics. Post-Brexit, suddenly shipping samples feels like smuggling plutonium. So Aqua Nobel adapted, fast. They stocked up locally to dodge endless border paperwork. And their masterstroke, partnering with W.H. Smith, which catapulted their distribution across 72 European locations. Take that, Brexit barriers. And John's vision of UK-Swedish trade is pretty rosy, actually. Brits are increasingly craving Scandinavian wellness products, making Brexit obstacles more of a hurdle than a wall. Optimism from a water company. Refreshing indeed. And now let's dive into accounting. Everyone's favorite subject, right? John Oren from Accountum has a front row seat to Brexit's impact, specializing in helping Swedish firms navigate UK tax, VAT, payroll, and all the other things that make business people cry softly at night. Brexit forced Johan and his firm to invest heavily in tech, talent, and aspirin. The early days were filled with uncertainty, causing many Swedish companies to hesitate before entering the UK. But after initial hesitation came renewed confidence, and largely because firms like Accountum took the Brexit chaos head-on, simplifying the complexities. Johan's cautiously optimistic prediction? Britain might never fully rejoin the EU. Sorry, Remainers, but he hopes for more flexible trade agreements down the line. Until then, he'll keep guiding businesses through the Brexit jungle. And speaking of jungles, let's talk logistics, Brexit's favorite victim. Malcolm Thorpe, managing director at NTEX, oversees the flow of goods between Sweden and the UK. And post-Brexit, that flow has slowed from a smooth stream to more of a trickle. Eastbound traffic dropped significantly, forcing NTEX to pivot quickly. And their strategy? Doubled down on customer service and communication. And when Brexit snarls logistics, good old-fashioned customer care can save the day. NTEX invested in automation, streamlined customs processes, and adopted advanced tech to manage mountains of Brexit paperwork. And Malcolm remains hopeful. The UK is still central for NTEX, and despite Brexit's trials, the logistical bond between Sweden and Britain stays strong. And finally, let's shift to something stylish, fashion, with Gant. CEO Patrick Söderström reminds us that Brexit hasn't been tough on trade just. It's been brutal on moving physical goods across borders. Gant had to rethink their entire logistics and fulfillment strategies to remain competitive in the UK. And in response, they set up a state-of-the-art warehouse near London covering an impressive 10,000 square meters. And this improved delivery speed, boosted customer satisfaction, and even turned logistical nightmares into competitive advantages. Patrick is excited about digital innovation and cross-border collaboration, believing Brexit hurdles will ultimately spark innovation. So what have we learned from these Swedish-British stories? First, Brexit might not have been the apocalypse, but it certainly was no picnic. And second, the companies that thrived post-Brexit did so by being adaptable, innovative, and occasionally lucky. And third, Brexit ironically made cross-border cooperation more essential than ever. The UK and Sweden have a deeply rooted business relationship. They share similar values, a taste for innovation, and a mutual appreciation for stylish minimalism. Brexit disrupted, but did not break that bond. If anything, it's stronger as companies now lean on partnerships and cooperation more than ever before. And let's not forget Brexit's unintended lesson. Every new obstacle creates opportunities. For lawyers like Tom, Brexit was practically a business gold rush. For logistics experts like Malcolm, it forced efficiency upgrades. For retailers like Aqua Nobel and Gant, Brexit drove logistics innovation they never anticipated. So the real Brexit effect on Swedish-British business isn't just red tape and headaches, it's resilience. It's a lesson in turning adversity into advantage, complexity into clarity, and confusion into collaboration. Swedish businesses in the UK aren't just surviving Brexit, they are thriving through innovation and strategic adaptation. And for British consumers, it means they can still enjoy Swedish alkaline water, stylish clothing, efficient logistics, solid legal advice, and impeccable accounting services, albeit with slightly more paperwork. Brexit's legacy for Swedish-British business is paradoxical. It both challenged and strengthened relationships. It drove businesses to rethink their approaches, streamline operations, and invest in new technology. And perhaps most importantly, it reminded everyone that in the world of business, adaptability isn't optional, it's essential. So next time someone says Brexit made business impossible, just point them towards Sweden. Tell them about Tom the immigration lawyer, John the water distributor, Joan the accountant, Malcolm the logistics guru, and Patrick the fashion CEO. These are faces of post-Brexit resilience, determination, and success. But that doesn't mean that Brexit is any easier than you heard on this channel for years. And thanks for watching this special Brexit-themed episode of Outside Views. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Swedish-British business, and who wouldn't, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Stay tuned for more ironic insights, detailed dissections, and absurd yet accurate explorations into the ongoing Brexit saga. Because Brexit might have reshaped business, but here at Outside Views, we'll always keep reshaping the narrative. See you next time, and if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen, right next to a video from my newest channel, and if you like animals, I would love your support over there as well. Whatever video you pick, I'll see you there. I'll be back.